Walsh here. Welcome to the second of this series of free YouTube tutorials to help explain how to play the tunes in my new book, which is O'Neill's Tunes for Clawhammer Banjo. So these are traditional Irish tunes arranged for Clawhammer Banjo, and if you'd like to buy the book, then the link is in the description below. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, that would be great, and you can be kept updated with when these tutorials are posted. I'll be posting one each week until I've finished. And there's always lots of other content on here as well, like split screen collaborations and things. And one final plug, I have a Patreon page as well, where you can, if you want to be a patron, you can have access to all manner of technique videos, exclusive performances, and exclusive banjo tabs. But without further ado, let's get into these two tunes. So two classic reels, the Fermoy Lasses and Sporting Paddy. It's a pair of tunes. I shamelessly basically stole the idea of putting them together from the Dubliners, who opened their show with this particular set of tunes for the last sort of 20 years or so of their wonderful existence. So Fermoy Lasses. So we're going to start with a little upbeat. So in case you don't know what that means, is we start with like a mini bar just before the main tune kicks in. So in this case, it's worth 2 beats. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're into beat 1 at that point. So for that first little mini bar, that sounds a good idea. We're going to do a grace note. So that's where we play a little extra note to sort of add a little bit of style to the main note. So the grace, crucially, doesn't have any time value of its own, so you execute the slur as you hit the string. So we're going to slide up to fret 4 on the 3rd string, which is a B, and to do that, we're in G tuning. Sorry, I always forget to do that. We're in G tuning. So what we do is we slide off. We're actually going to slide our 3rd finger, because we're going to play most of the A part in 2nd position. So that means that our 1st finger's on fret 2, 2nd finger on fret 3, 3rd finger on fret 4. So the easiest way to do it is to slide using the finger that we're going to ultimately want to be in that position. So if you slide your 3rd finger up to fret 4, and then on 4 and, you're going to do a pull off to fret 2, which is an A. So in other words, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and then we're into the main tune. First of all, we're going to start with this first bar, which goes like this. So the way that we do that is we're going to play the 3rd string, which is our G, drop thumb and E on the 4th string, so that's your 2nd fret. Next comes a hallmark of Irish traditional tunes, which is the same note triplet. And the reason I have a wry smile on my face is because they're a bit of a bind to doing clawhammer style, to be honest with you. So there are 2 ways around it. The proper way is to do a technique that my great mentor Ken Perlman helped to develop, which is to essentially use your fingernail as a pick. So you play once through the string as normal, then back up and then down again. So it goes like this: 1, 2, 2 and a, sorry, 1 and 2 and a 3, 1 and 2 and a 3. That's quite easy to do at that speed. It is not easy to do at this speed. I sort of managed it there, but I always find that a bit difficult. So I'm going to let you in on my dark secret, which is a bit of a cheat, which is what I do instead is play the first note, do a sort of percussive hammer-on with my third finger onto the 4th fret. So it is a hammer-on, but I don't want it to sound too much like this, because I want it to sort of sound like the same note. And the 3rd note, incidentally, I would pull off back to fret 2. So what I do is sort of, where hopefully you hardly notice that it's not the same note, but it just means at speed I can still play it convincingly and with the right feel for Irish folk music. That's my defence anyway. But strictly speaking, it should be the same note. So have a go at both techniques and see what you think. Anyway, after that, the beat 3 of the bar is just that E again, and then finally beat 4 is a open D hammered on to the E. So the first bar in total goes like this. Okay, so that's the first bar. Then the second bar starts with another of these little grace notes. So we're going to play, the melody note is a G, so that's your 3rd string. But rather than just play the string, we're going to do a little pull off as I hit the string. So we're going to fret 2, so that's the 2nd fret of that 3rd string, and let it go as you hit the string. So you end up with this sound. No, you don't. Like that. So it just gives it a little bit more style than if you just had, you get just a little bit more colour to it. So after you've done that grace, you're going to drop thumb an F sharp, so that's the 4th fret of the 4th string. Then return to your G and hammer on an A. And then beat 3 is a B. Now you could just play that as an open 2nd string, but again, just to keep it sounding more kind of authentically Irish, what I'm going to do is hammer it onto the 4th fret of the 3rd string from the 2nd fret. So in other words, like that. So you start by fretting your A, which is your 2nd fret, and then hammer the B. That's a crotchet on beat 3, so that lasts for the whole beat. And then beat 4, we're going to play the 4th fret again, pull off back to the 2nd fret. So far this is what we have. Yeah? Bar 3 starts the same as bar 1, so again we get all the same up to beat 3. Beat 4 though is slightly different. You're going to keep that note on, which is your E, play that note, and then use a spare finger, probably a 2nd, to pick the 3rd string, purely with your left hand finger, like that. And it's easier, by the way, with melodic clawhammer, the secret is often to think 2 notes at a time. So when you play one note, you don't just play that note. Think about what the next note is and how you can set yourself up for it. So what I do here is I play that note, but I also get this finger ready on the 3rd string so that I can pick it. This means that I can get a little bit of a smoother playing and hopefully be able to speed it up a little bit more easily. But it also means that you avoid this sound. That sound of my hammering the finger on and then pulling it off. This way I just get the sound of the pull off. Rather than... So you can hear it's a lot less crisp generally. That's bar 3. Bar 4 goes like this. So we're going to play the 4th fret of the 4th string, that's an F sharp. Pull off to the D. Then we've got another of these same note triplets, this time on a D, so that's your bottom string. And again, either do the proper one, or the cheaty one, whichever one you think works best. I use the cheat most of the time. And then after you've done that, we're going to play second string, hammer on the first fret, then play the second string again and pull off your first finger as you play the note. So this is another of those grace notes. So we're going to go, and then finally drop thumb and A on the third string, which is your second fret. So the final bar of that first line is. So just to recap, first 4 bars go like this. Then bar 5 and bar 6 are the same as bars 1 and 2. And then bar 7 goes like this. So we're going to play the third string. Then we're going to do play the third string again, but we're going to do another of these little ornaments, where basically what we're going to do is play the string, open, hammer on the second fret, and then pull it off again as quickly as possible. So it's not a triplet. It's not like my bad cheating triplet where we go. It's even quicker than that. As quick as you possibly can. So 1, 2, and that's your next note, an F sharp on the 4th string, 4th fret. So 1, 2, and 2, like that. So it's really sort of crisp, rather than it's not that, like that. I don't know why my head always goes like that when I do one of those, but there's no explaining most of my facial expressions while playing banjo. So that's the first half of bar 7. Sorry, I'm just talking nonsense there. So third string, and then that, and then we're going to do a hammer on. So third string, hammer on the 4th fret, and then play your D on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string and pull off to a B. So the whole of that bar 7 is like that, and the final bar of the A part goes like this. So we're going to form this shape here, 2nd fret of the 3rd string and 4th fret of the 4th string. So that's an A and an F sharp. Again, think 2 notes ahead. Get both fingers down ready rather than playing one and then moving to another. Get them both there ready. And we're going to play the A, then the F sharp. Then we're going to play a D, hammer on the F sharp again. So you get this, like that. And then finally, we've got a B, hammering on a C, and then we're going to do one of those grace notes again, and then an A at the end. So the last bar goes like this. And that's the whole of the A part. So let me just recap that A part for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and... repeat all of that. So that's the A part. Let's move on to the B part. So the B part begins with a G. So essentially it's a little bit of a modulation for the B part. So a modulation means that you change key in the middle of a tune. So the first part, the A part, feels very E minor-y. It feels very E minor-y. Whereas the B part sort of feels more like G major. Kind of feels a bit more happy. So the B part begins like this. We're going to just play our 3rd string, and then we're going to play 2nd string, then 5th string 3 times, and the middle one we're going to play the 3rd fret, like that. And note there that rather than just playing the 3rd fret, I sort of hammered it on as I played the string. So another of these graces. So like that. So that's the first bar of the B. The second bar, we're going to start with the 2nd string. Then we're going to play a C we're basically going to do a run up the scale. So C, D, E, F sharp, G. So we start on a C, which is your first fret of the second string, and then using our off string pull off technique to play the D. And then change position here, so just move up 1 fret to the 2nd fret and play. So 2nd finger for the E, hammer on the F sharp, and finally the G. So just to recap, that's and then the 3rd bar is starts on a B. We're going to do a quick slide here. So a quick slide, you've probably seen normal slides where you go and it's like 2 separate quavers. This is a quick slide, so that's a grace note again. So once again, we're going to basically do the slide as I hit the string. So that's the first note, and that's a crotchet, so that lasts for the whole beat, fret 2 to 4 on the 3rd string. Then we're going to play our 3rd string and 5th string, and then another little grace hammer on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, which is a D, pulling off to the B. Then we play the B again, and then the 5th string. So just to recap, that 3rd bar is... No, it isn't. That's it. Help if I remember, wouldn't it? And then the 4th bar of the B part is actually the same as the last bar of the A part. So it's that one where you form that little shape. So it's the same as that. Then the first 2 bars of the, bars 5 and 6 of the B part are the same as bars 1 and 2. So same thing again. And then we're going to jump up to the 5th position. So this is a little bit awkward. You've got your little finger on fret 5. You're going to have to get your first finger there quite quickly and form a half bar. So cover your first 2 strings with your first finger. And you're going to play 1st string, then play the 5th string with your 3rd finger on the 7th fret. Fretting the 5th string, it's quite rare, but it makes total sense to me. If you've got a note on the offbeat and it's easier to play it on the 5th string, definitely do it. Then you're going to play strings 1 and 2. So that's why we've got a half bar on, so that we can just cover that whole shape. And then take all your fingers off. I don't mean like cut them off, but take them off the fretboard and return down to the 1st position and play your open 1st string, then 2nd string. So that gives you a bit of time, those open strings, to move back down to 1st position. Then D, then B on the 2nd string. So you're going to, again, hammer on as you play. You must be sick of me saying that now. And pull off to the B. So that whole bar is like that. And then once again, it's the same as the last bar of the A. And then you would go around the whole tune again. And the second time you play the tune, or at least this is what I did in the video, is in that last bar, because we're going to go on to Sporting Paddy, which is in A minor, the last bar I did this. I just finished on an A ready for the next tune. Because it wouldn't really work particularly well to go. Just doesn't seem a very satisfying sort of change. So I just sort of put a little pause in there, just a pause for breath before the next tune. So that's Fermoy Lasses. Let's go on to Sporting Paddy. So Sporting Paddy, classic reel, and this is in A minor this time. And to begin with, I'm going to sort of break one of my own rules a little bit, because I'm normally not a big fan of the off-string hammer-on, or alternate string hammer-on as it's sometimes called. It's sort of a bit of a last resort for me generally when I'm arranging tunes. So in case you're not sure what one is, basically going back to our usual rule, we use our playing finger on the beat, and then on the ands, or the offbeat, we tend to use either our thumb or a left-hand slur of some kind. And one of those is that you can hit one string. So for example, in this tune, you hit an E, which is the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and then use a spare finger to hammer on to the 3rd string, also on the 2nd fret, which gives you an A. So I've used it here, even though I don't really like it, because usually I think it sounds a bit weak. So it tends to be a bit of a last resort for me. But in this instance, I did decide to use it just because it was by far the easiest way of playing it. You can use what's called a follow-through technique, which is when you play one string and then follow through to the next one. Make sure your banjo's in tune. And then follow through to the next one. But that makes the next bit quite difficult in my experience, so I went for the hammer-on. You decide. Anyway, see what you think. But those are the first two notes anyway. And then the next three notes, we've got a triplet. So beat 2 is a triplet. Again, probably ought to be a same note triplet really, 3 A's. But I found it sounded quite effective to go A, pull off, A again. So that's what we end up with. Sorry. Like that. Like that. Then the last two beats of the bar are we've got a G, which is our 3rd string, hammer on the 2nd fret, then 2nd string, drop thumb, the 3rd string. So we get like that. Then the next bar we start again with the hammer, or follow through if you can do it. So we've got those two notes again. Then we've got an A, we're going to hammer on a B, which is on the 4th fret. Sorry, that was awful. Like that. And then we're going to play, on the 3rd beat, we're going to play a G, so that's our 3rd string. And we're going to do one of those little sort of trill, excuse me, one of those trill ornaments. So we're going to play the 3rd string and do a quick hammer on and pull off from the 2nd string. Like that. So we get, and then finally for that bar we're going to play a D and hammer on an F sharp, which is on your 4th fret. So far this is what we've got. Like that. The 3rd bar is we're going to start again with basically we're going to play the same first 4 notes as the 2nd bar. So we're going to play E, hammer on the A, hammer on the B, and then we're going to play G, A, B, D. So that's G, which is 3rd string, hammer on the 2nd fret, then 2nd string, B, hammer on the 3rd fret. Like that. So bar 3 is like that, and then bar 4 we're going to play an E, so that's the 2nd fret of the 1st string, but we're going to do one of those grace hammer-ons. So you're going to sort of hammer on the note as you play the string, and then do a pull off. So like that, and then you're going to pull off from fret 5, little finger, to fret 2 with your 1st finger. And again, I really recommend that you have both fingers on and pull off from one to the other. It's always a thing with Clawhammer Banjo, we have to sort of think 2 notes at a time. So put both fingers on ready, rather than playing that note and then figuring out how to do the next one. Get them both on in good time if you can. And then finally, 1st string and then 2nd string, A then G. So the first line goes like this. Then the 2nd line we're going to start much the same, in fact exactly the same. So bars 5 and 6 are exactly the same as bars 1 and 2. Just like that. And in fact, sorry, bar 7 is the same as bar 3 as well. So, and then bar 8, sorry, starts the same as bar 4. So we get this. We get that again. But this time the only change is just at the end here. So we get the 1st string, which is a D, that's on beat 3, and that's just a crotchet, so that lasts for the whole beat. And then what that open string does is it buys you the time to get your hand up to 5th position, which is where we're going next. So your 1st finger's going to head to the 5th fret during that note. Again, think ahead, try and move in during the open string so that it's a nice smooth transition. And you're going to go to an E on the 2nd string, so that's your 5th fret, with your first finger, and then hammer on to the 7th fret with your 3rd finger. So just to recap, the whole of the A part goes like this. And then we're into the B part. So the B part is, as I say, in 5th position. It's definitely the easiest place to do it. And it's a little bit of a different kind of thing. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to form a half bar on the 5th fret. So you're going to cover the 1st and 2nd strings with your 1st finger, like that. And you're going to play the 1st string and drop them the 2nd, like that. Then we've got another of these same note triplets. And on the tab, I have actually written it as a same note triplet. So that's, again, going down, up, down through the note. I'm not going to pretend that I do that every time. In fact, there's a good chance I cheat more than do it right. So when I do that, I use my old trick of playing the note, sort of percussively hammering on with my 3rd finger and then pulling off again. Or, if you can do it. Then we're going to play 1st string and 2nd string again. And then, this is a bit of a funny technique, but I think it's the easiest way to do it, is if you lift the, I don't know how you describe it, this end of your 1st finger, if you lift that way, so that essentially your bar comes off the 1st string, but you're still fretting the 2nd string, because the next 2 notes are going to be an open 1st string and then 5th fret of the 2nd string. So, but the bar then needs to go back on in the next bar. That's confusing. This kind of bar needs to go on in the next musical bar. So what I do in this tune is I just periodically just sort of lift my finger like that to enable me to get that open string. So the 1st bar goes like this. I see now why Americans call them measures, to differentiate between that kind of bar and that kind of bar. But you get, yeah. That's what I do. And then what I do is I put it back on for the next bar measure, which starts exactly the same thing. Then you're going to lift it off altogether and slide your 1st finger, oh sorry, there it is, to fret 7. It's dead easy, you see. You're going to slide that up to fret 7 on beat 3. So you get a quick slide, like that. And then do a pull off from fret 9 to fret 7. So leave your 1st finger on, and then play fret 9, and then pull off. So far that's what we've got. Like that. Then bar 3 of the B part is almost the same as the 1st bar, apart from the last note. So we start with this again. And this time you're going to play the 1st string, and then the 5th string. Then bar 4 of the B part, again the half bar goes back on, and we're going to play the 2nd string, hammer onto the 7th fret, 1st string, and then 2nd string, back on the 5th fret, and then a D, which is your open 1st string, and then 5 to 7 on the 2nd string again. So the 1st line of the B part goes like this. Then the next line, we're going to start the same. So bar 5 of the B part is the same as bar 1. And then the next bar starts, again, is the same up to beat 4. So we're going to get as far as there. But this time what we're going to do, we're going to use our 2nd finger on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. So you've just moved up to 7th position, so your 2nd finger should be round about there anyway. So you're going to put that on the 8th fret of the 2nd string, which is a G, and you're going to use your 5th string to get the next note, which is an A. So you need to fret the 5th string with your 1st finger on fret 7. So it's a little bit of a stretch, but just keep your arm kind of open like that, and you should find it okay. and those are your two notes. So just to recap that, the last line of the B part so far goes like that. Then we're going to play, this time we're going to go to fret 9, we're going to do a triplet here, not a same note triplet, just a triplet. So fret 9, so your third finger, still in 7th position, third finger on fret 9 of the first string, that's a B, and get your first finger ready on fret 7, because what you're going to do is you're going to play fret 9, pull off to fret 7, and then play the 5th string. So the timing of that is, so I'll do the bar before, 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1 and a, so it's triplet. Then we've got a half bar on fret 7, and you're going to play the first string and then the second string. Then move that same shape down to fret 5 and do exactly the same thing. First string, then second string. Then take it all off, play the first string and then the 5th string, so a D and then a G. So just to recap, that bar is, and again, use that one beat of open strings to move your hand back down to 2nd position, and you're going to play no, you're not actually, sorry, I was about to say you're going to play the same as the end of the A, but you're not. You're going to play an E, which is here, and you're going to hammer on an F sharp, then do G to E, so keep this first finger down on E the whole time, and you're going to do that, and then you are going to play the same last 4 notes as bar 4 of the A part, so that's, if you remember that, so that's the first string with a little pull off as you hit the string, and then A and then G, and that's the whole thing. So the B part, just to finish off, goes. Beginning of that tune. So have fun with those. Thanks so much again for watching. This is the second in a series of tutorials I'll be giving on the tunes in my new book, O'Neill's Tunes for Clawhammer Banjo. All the links to my Patreon and Facebook and no, not my Facebook, my book, Amazon, that's the one, Amazon link to buy the book are in the description below. So you can buy the book if you want to have the tabs as well as these videos. Sign up to be a patron and you'll have access to an absolute ton of videos and tabs on techniques and different tunes and that kind of thing. And follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, keep in touch. It's great to hear from you, especially during these forced antisocial times. Thanks so much for all your support. Hope you enjoy the tunes, and I'll see you soon. Thanks very much.